Just ahead of his high-profile meetings with Russian President Volodymyr Putin and Chinese President Xi Jinping at the SCO summit in Tianjin, Prime Minister Modi held a significant phone conversation with Ukrainian President Zelensky today. Prime Minister Modi has reaffirmed India's consistent approach for a peaceful resolution. He has emphasized on humanitarian efforts to restore stability in this part of this world. And both leaders have also agreed to remain in touch and continue their diplomatic engagement. Remember, the timing of this phone call is extremely interesting. It comes just hours before Prime Minister Modi meets Russian President Vladimir Putin on the sidelines of the SCO summit that is going to happen at Tianjin in China. The Prime Minister has already arrived in China. He will also be part of this bilateral meeting with Chinese President Xi Jinping at the SCO summit. Several leaders are taking part at the SCO summit that will be underway tomorrow at Tianjin in China. In fact, this is a significant phone conversation with Ukrainian President Zelensky, with Prime Minister Modi reaffirming India's consistent support for a peaceful resolution. What we understand is that both leaders have agreed to remain in touch and continue their diplomatic engagement on a variety of issues, including the ongoing war between Russia and Ukraine. My colleague Mohammad Ghazali joins us with more details on this. Ghazali, the timing of this phone conversation is extremely important. It's interesting as Prime Minister Modi prepares to meet Mr. Putin and also Xi Jinping on the sidelines of the SCO summit. This is also his first visit to China in 7 years. India has been talking about a multi-alignment strategy for some years now. Tell us, what do we know about this phone conversation?
This is very significant considering the fact that Mr. Zelensky had last spoken to Prime Minister Modi on 11th of August. That was also 3 days after PM Modi had spoken to Mr. Putin, the Russian president. And now, this time around, today's conversation is happened today, just days before Prime Minister is also scheduled to meet Mr. Putin on the sidelines of SCO summit. So this, as you rightly pointed out, it also signifies that India's diplomatic approach of going with everyone or talking about peace, dialogue, and diplomacy is working out. Because earlier, the critics were saying that perhaps India is in Russia's bag and it doesn't care about Ukrainian or war casualty in Ukraine. But Ukrainian president himself has called up Prime Minister Modi, discussed about how the meeting was going to happen. And he also explained that he's also looking forward to meet Mr. Putin in near future. So that shows that India's Prime Minister or India's diplomacy certainly has some influence. And besides the West and US, Mr. Zelensky is also looking towards Prime Minister Modi to perhaps strike some conversation with Mr. Putin to halt this war.